Hey guys, it's Denise and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing something special. I'm doing my very first houseplant tour. I've had my channel for a year and I've never done one. I don't know why. I guess I was just waiting for the perfect time. And the perfect time is never gonna come. All the plants aren't ever gonna look perfect at the same time or be in the perfect spot or yada yada yada. So the time is now. So I'm gonna take the spotlight off of my cacti and succulents for these videos. I'm not sure if it's gonna be 1 or 2 parts yet. And throw the attention onto my tropical plants. So if you're curious about me as a grower, I started growing tropical plants in 2002, and then in 2006 I got into really exotic varieties. Now I do not have all of those plants now. At one point in time I moved into a bad place and I rehomed them, and then in 2017 I had a great scale outbreak. It was awful, and it was my first time dealing with treating for scale, and a lot of my plants didn't make it through the horticultural oil treatment, so I was knocked back to like almost nothing and had to rebuild my collection. So most of these plants, besides the ones that were gifted to me, are around 2 years old or less. So let's just get started, and I hope you enjoy the tour. So next up are my bedroom plants. Again, south facing window, so I only have sun from one direction, and in the winter is when it's the brightest. So in front of my window I have succulents and I have snake plants, Sansevieria plants. I have never shown those in my succulent tours before, so I'm going to classify those as tropical plants, even though they do grow in both tropical and succulent-like conditions. So this plant here is Sansevieria trifasciata moonshine. It has a beautiful pale colors. You can see this is actually a huge pup that's coming in. I got this plant on my birthday last year. It was my birthday present to myself. There was a lot of marks on the leaves, but other than that, I knew it would grow into be a beautiful plant. So this little guy is Sansevieria fernwood, and he desperately needs to go into a bigger pot. But you can see it was planted by leaf cuttings, which just look like these long pointy guys. And then when the plant comes out, it is quite a bit different. But hopefully you guys can see the leaf shape is kind of like jagged along the edges. Quite a bit different looking than the other Sansevierias that I have. It'll be interesting to see what happens to this plant as it gets bigger. So this is my Sansevieria trifasciata. I think that's it. I don't think it has anything else to it. It's just your typical snake plant. It has grown so much since I got it. It was in one of my IKEA hauls. One of the first videos, I think it was my first plant haul I ever did on my channel. And yeah, it's just grown quite a bit. Grows straight up. All my Sansevierias are growing like crazy right now. For me, where I live and with my microclimate inside, they go through big growth spurts in the spring and in the fall. So right now is growing season. So you can see the new little leaf coming up in the middle there. I just love the way these plants look from the top. I think they look so cool and so well paired with aloes and haworthias because they all kind of have the same sharp appearance to them, if that makes any sense. So yep, just a beautiful snake plant. I absolutely love these plants. I like to give them a lot of sun. I find they love it. They grow really well. But if I ever need to give some of my other plants more sun, I know I can move these guys out of the way into a slightly less bright location and they'll do just fine. So this little guy is a bird's nest variety of Sansevieria. Sansevieria trifasciata hanii Jade dwarf, I think it's called. It has a very long name, but I remember Jade because it's the green colored one. This plant's put on a lot of growth for me in the last few months as well. I thought it was not going to do anything for the longest time, and I was okay with that because the little ones are slow growers, but I am so happy with the growth that it has put on. I can really see the new growth when I look at it from this angle because the sun catches those new leaves because they're a little bit lighter colored and just lights them right up. So those are my snake plants in here. I do have another one, but it's in the other room. So we'll move on to the other plants. So up here, not fitting into frame at all, is one of my golden pothoses. A golden pothos plant. This one's name is Worms, and I will tell you why. So this plant is kind of high up and really big, and I can't get it all in frames. So I'm gonna try not to be shaky and do it with my hands. Let's go. So here is Worms. I call her Worms because last summer this plant had bloodworms living in the soil, and they got in there because I was fertilizing it with water from my frog tank, and my frog eats worms. So this plant got worms. My solution to that was to just dry out the soil a couple times really well, and then the worms kind of died, I'm guessing, because they stopped living in the bottom. They stopped laying eggs, and they were no longer a problem. So I have lost a lot of the variegation on this plant. It doesn't get a lot of sun. During the summer, it gets longer days, but the sun isn't as bright. However, most of it is still coming in with variegation, so hard to see, but I don't know. I thought that leaf was. Let's find a new leaf. I don't know. Even if this turns into a Jade Pothos, that's fine because I don't have one of those, and I have a whole bunch of cuttings of these that I've given out and all over, and she's really full up top. Really full. It's hard to really give you an idea of how big this plant is, but down below. I have never done this before, and it is kind of cool. Okay, on to the next plant. So again, another huge plant. This is my Marble Queen Pothos, and down below I have my Pearls and Jade, Pothos Pearls and Jade. So I'm down on the ground where I usually find it most comfortable, and here are the new leaves. Beautiful variegation. You can see that one there is when I got the plant, and there are a few more leaves that are a little bit damaged. I think it was just being overwatered in the nursery, but it had no bugs or anything like that, so it was good to go, and it is healthy. So many new growing points. I think, yeah, if you can see there, right at the back there. Just gonna be very careful and move this. You can see there's 2 new ones about to come out there. But really, they're all over the plant, like they're everywhere. Let's move this back. And it's a very full plant. I'm really happy with it. I absolutely love pothos plants. I know they're super basic and whatever, but I don't even think I have enough. I want more. So yeah, that's Pothos Pearls and Jade. So another one that's super awkward to film with the tripod is my Marble Queen Pothos here, and it's all vined up around the top, trailing down. I have it all over the bottom there. Now this one did revert. It was going green, and I cut it where you're supposed to be able to cut it for it to revert back, and it put out a ton of green leaves. That one, there's a tiny bit of variegation. Not sure what's going to happen with this one yet, but I don't know. I might just leave it because until it starts causing a huge problem, because this plant is putting out tons of like the really light colored ones. Very beautiful. And up here as well, there's new growth coming in that is very variegated. That little leaf looks like it's going to be adorable. Adorable. Oh my gosh. Yeah, beautiful, I should say. This plant is more beautiful than it is adorable. But yeah, I just love the variegation on these leaves. I think it's awesome. It grows really fast. I don't know how big it would be if I were to take all of the trails down because I have them hooked around so many things. But it will be fun because I want to hang it up there, and I just realized I have another plant. I want to hang it up there, and yeah, I just can't have the trails get too low because my kitten is crazy and she gets into absolutely everything. But that is my Marble Queen. And I guess we're on to my Neon Pothos, which is up there on the shelf. This was another buy on Black Friday. So it's up super high, like that's a really high shelf. So I'm gonna bring this plant down. So if you're wondering right now, is this video gonna be all Sansevieria and Pothos? No, it is not. I just happen to have a lot of those varieties in my bedroom with my succulents. So this is my neon pothos, and I think it's growing amazing. Yeah, I don't know what else more to say about it. It's doing beautiful. It's still in its nursery pot. I do need to repot that one as well. So since filming, I have repotted this plant. It was very, very root bound. I do need to find a pot to put this beautiful plant in. I'm hoping for a purple one or a white one, but I haven't dug through all of my totes of plants to actually pull something out yet. But yes, we have repotted the plant. Haven't had any problems with it since I got it, and I do find it to be a very fast grower. So let me just give you a closer look at this beauty. Some markings on the older leaves. Again, that's what you get. It has to grow out of its nursery damage. So there's some beautiful, nice, really, really light leaves in the middle there. And the part at the back here was always pretty green. And now I have it in the least lit part. So, just see, and there's another light one under there. This plant is due, nope, it's not due for watering today. I can give it another day. Anyways, that's always good when you can wait another day. So that is my beautiful neon pothos. I can't wait till it fills out just a little bit more so I can take some cuttings and put this all over my house. So that's all for my house plants in the bedroom. I have a lot more in here during the summer, but for the winter, they need to be grouped in the other room. I do have a lot of cacti and succulents. That's a whole nother video, but I will give you a sneak peek. So I just have some hanging succulents there. A majority of my jade collection is there, as well as some cacti, some aloe, and over here some more cacti. Oh, and I forgot. We got some hanging planters, both Senecio up there. And yeah, more on that. Definitely check out my upcoming succulent video. So moving on to my roommate's room, no blinds, so I was able to put some plants in here and they get a ton of light. So you can see I have some cacti and succulents hanging and down at the bottom, but I do have a few tropical plants in here as well. So this huge plant here is my sweet potato vine, or my sweet potato plant, and it goes all the way down there. So I moved the plant and I'm lying back on his bed, and this is about as far back as I can get, and I can just barely get it into frame. So this plant will vine absolutely everywhere for you. It does great outside. It's often found in mixed sort of baskets like for your patio and whatnot, probably because it is such a great grower. It does need extremely bright light, so think succulents type of bright light or cacti type of bright light. So I do have it here. This is a south facing window and it gets tons of bright light all day long. The new little baby leaves come in and they come in kind of pink, and then they get this beautiful chartreuse color. If you do like this plant and you want to see how quick it bounces back after watering, I have a time-lapse video where I shot it all wilted, gave it some water, and then did the time-lapse, and you can watch it dance and wake up. So hanging up here is my Tradescantia zebrina wandering Jew plant. So this plant lost some leaves this winter due to lack of humidity. It is so dry in my apartment, but she's doing really well now. Lots of really nice growth coming in. I've been taking cuttings to fill out the basket and planting them in the top. I did actually just repot this, and it is in a smaller basket within a larger one, but it's starting to vine up there. Not sure if you can see into there to see the cuttings. I don't know. And there's some vines going over here as well. So definitely looking forward to showing you what this plant looks like by the end of the summer. I think it's going to be really, really cool, really big. So I have a few extras of plants in here. Back here I have a peperomia, and right up there I have a Tradescantia plant. It's called the oyster plant sometimes as well. And this one I had pulled very, very far away from the window this winter. Well, you know, probably about 4 feet, but for a Tradescantia, that's pretty far. And it did stretch out quite a bit, but I was kind of doing a little bit of an experiment with it. However, I wouldn't let that go on for too long. I moved it and put it in some really good light. And it actually has 2 baby plants coming out of the top. And it's being completely consumed by the sweet potato plant. Up here I have some Marble Queen Pothos cuttings that I just put in a vase. So those are all the tropical plants in Andrew's room for now. So I'm going to cut this here and make this into 2 videos. So this is the end of part 1. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for part 2. Take care. Bye.